Hello and welcome back to day 2 of my 5 stress busting tips in 5 days. Today we're going to be talking about exercise and stress. Let's get going. The relationship between stress and exercise is well documented in it's well documented in releasing endorphins to help you beat the stress after a long day. Before you're motion sick, we'll get to the top of this hill. That's a bit better. There is nothing better than at the end of a long day to go out for a run, a bike ride, a walk, whatever your form of exercise is. But there's a healthy balance, because actually when you do something like running, your body doesn't know the difference between the running for pleasure and running away from a bear. So exercise to relieve stress is great up to a point, but like everything, we've got to know where to draw the line. Okay, let's keep going. Running has been an essential part of my burnout recovery. I got to a point where I was too physically and emotionally... Oh no, did I stop my watch again? Oh yeah, good. Whew. If it's not on Strava, it didn't count. Okay, so I got to a point in burnout where I was physically and emotionally drained, and actually I had to take some time off exercise altogether. But when I started to regain a bit more energy and those stores started to come back, running, being out in the fresh air made such a difference. And you know what, with views like these, who can blame me? It is such a glorious morning. Wow, ignore the rain. It isn't always easy to motivate yourself to go out for a run, a bike ride, whatever it is. But there's a few things that I found really help me. One is I know the best time in my day to go for a run, and I block that time in my diary and I treat it just like any other meeting. And I have it blocked every day. I might not use it every day, but I know it's there, and so if I choose not to use it, it becomes my choice. I also like to run with a running club, and a big shout out to my local running club, Ranelagh Harriers, who I've been running with for the last maybe 4, maybe more years. And the sense of community that you get from a running club, and when you turn up to train with the same people week in, week out, you get to know them, and you get to a point where they notice if you're not there. So if you feel like, oh, I can't be bothered, but you know they're all going to be there, it really helps to spur you on, and it helps to kind of switch up the type of running that you're doing, so that it keeps it interesting for you too. The thing is, there's this perception that running clubs and cycling clubs are just for people who run fast, but that's not true. Oh no, I think I've left my watch running. Oh no, I haven't. Phew. All the Strava segments. There's this perception that it's only for fast runners, and it's absolutely not true. It's for people who just want to do a sport and enjoy it and meet people who think like them about that sport. And so for me, running clubs and cycling clubs have absolutely changed my perception and dedication to the sport. So if you're not sure, I would highly recommend you join them. And a car's going to come, so I'm going to stop because I look weird. My hair is getting increasingly wild. I realise I've talked about running a lot, but running isn't the only sport, right? Sorry about this hair. I personally also love cycling, and I like to switch up the two and balance the two. So also a big shout out to Cycling Club Newbury Velo, who are a bunch of absolutely awesome people spreading the love for the sport. If you are in that kind of West Berkshire area, you should definitely go and check them out. But it really doesn't matter, you know, I talk about exercise, and running and cycling are personal to me, but it could be whatever sport you want. Another car. Still so self-conscious about this in public. But it's like anything, everything in moderation, right? There is some science around the fact that your body doesn't know the difference between running away from a threat and running away from exercise. So exercise is another form of stress in itself. It's not something I know a huge amount about the science about, but fortunately I have read something by somebody who does, so I'm going to include that in the link down below. But the key message for me is know when you want to go harder and when you don't, and just kind of apply what feels right to you. So last year I was very intent on getting my 5k PB, which I did, and it felt great at the time. I was just in the right place in terms of all the other stresses in my life to balance that. But then burnout came and I really had to put that on the back burner. And whilst in my head I want to go back to that structured training and pushing for an exercise goal again, I just know I'm not in the right place with everything else in the rest of my life to be able to do that. And I don't want to take on that added pressure. So for me, at the moment, exercise is just purely about a stress relief. And with beautiful lanes like these, it's easy to feel stress-free in these. It's probably jogging the camera around too much. You're probably motion sick by now. I'll turn that off. I'm sure this route is harder on the way back. And I look like a tomato. Still loving it though. I've just come across these wonderful daffodils. Don't they look so beautiful? The countryside is amazing and the lanes are so quiet, and I've seen maybe 2-3 cars just surrounded by green fields, beautiful flowers, saw a rabbit and the odd pheasant. Can't argue with that. Okay, last video on this bit, I promise, but just look at what these lovely pheasants I found. There's one there and there's one over there. Beautiful birds. Oh, cute. Oh, I've lost it. Here it is. I feel like David Attenborough. And the best part is being able to have a pastry at the end. We're in a lovely little village called Yattendon and a beautiful cafe called the Pantry, so if you're nearby, make sure to check them out. So there you have it. Exercise, up to a point, is a great stress relief. Join us tomorrow where I'll be back in proper clothes and we're going to talk about batching. Have a wonderful day.